Max Verstappen came out as the victor after the last triple header. However, he also made some new enemies during the 3 races. Most notably in the first 2, where he could be seen going all in against Norris's McLaren in his own underperforming RB20. This resulted in major backlash and some famous quotes like, "The problem that Max has is he simply refuses to concede any turf at all, to anyone, in an overtake. So that's the situation." And in some way they're right. However, doesn't it just show how fierce of a competitor Verstappen is? Horner opened up on the backlash, especially from his own country England. Criticised for his tactics in Austin and Mexico, Christian Horner says Max Verstappen gave the best reply possible as he blitzed the competition in Brazil. Verstappen's driving abilities have been scrutinised in recent weeks, following those dubious defences against McLaren's Lando Norris. During the United States Grand Prix, Norris received a 5-second time penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage while attempting to pass Verstappen around turn 12 on lap 52. Max Verstappen responded with the best answer. Normally a 10-second penalty, the stewards lowered it to 5 seconds after citing Verstappen's role in Norris's off-track position by forcing the Briton wide and failing to make the bend himself. A week later, they were at it again, but this time Verstappen was penalised. 10 seconds for driving Norris off the track at turn 4, and another 10 for abandoning the track and gaining an advantage at turn 8. That later incident was reminiscent of Verstappen's Austin antics, as he once again failed to make the corner and shoved Norris off at the same time. And that's when the British media went into overtime and went all in on Verstappen, stating it couldn't go on any longer. Martin Brundle described it as plain dangerous, while FIA steward Johnny Herbert criticised the Dutchman's horrible mindset. Damon Hill, another former F1 driver, claimed it was Dick Dastardly stuff, with Verstappen deploying fear and intimidation on the track. Verstappen hit back, "I'm a 3-time world champion. I think I know what I'm doing." And he hit back once again at the Brazilian Grand Prix, coming from 17th on the grid in wet conditions to win by over 20 seconds. This was Verstappen's first Grand Prix since Barcelona. For Horner, it was the best response possible. There has been a lot of comments that have been made and opinions that have been voiced against Max and the way he drives, and I think the best way to answer those critics was to produce the drive that he did, said Red Bull's team boss. "We've watched a lead that has been diminishing since before the summer break, and having not won since June, it was great to hear the Rolling Stones playing again in the garage in memory of Dietrich Mateschitz. We play that every time we win a Grand Prix." Horner praised Verstappen's mental strength, revealing that he had not talked with the driver about the criticism and had instead left the Dutchman to his own ways. "You know when to put an arm around him, but he's not that kind of driver," he said. "He works it out for himself. His mental resilience is huge, and that's part of the strength that he has. But you can see how much it meant to him. I don't think I've seen him that animated on a podium for, I can't remember the last time, so it meant a huge amount to him. And I really believe that we've witnessed one of the great drives in F1. Verstappen's 8th win of the season moved him one step closer to reclaiming the world title, as he currently leads Lando Norris by 62 points with 86 points yet to play. He may secure the title at the next race in Las Vegas. When asked about what he expects next, Verstappen said, "I just want clean races, that's all. I am not thinking about clinching the championship in Vegas or whatever." After the last triple header, the championship seems to be locked. However, the Constructors' Championship is still open. Even though McLaren is leading by a fair bit, there still is a chance for Red Bull, and even more for Ferrari. But the fact that Red Bull is slipping away more and more by the week is hurting them, and most notably, Horner. And Christian Horner has officially asserted the team will look at the facts when it comes to a conclusion on the driving lineup for next year, as things can't keep going like they are now. Sergio Perez's status in the squad has been under examination for some time, following a string of poor performances this season. The Mexican has only been able to score 151 points this season in a car that had been the second or third fastest on the grid for most of the season. So, obviously rumours started swirling, and several Formula 1 drivers, especially RB's Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda, have been linked to a move to the senior squad. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko recently stated that any decision on the team's lineup will be determined after Abu Dhabi, despite speculation that he may be fired before the last 3 races. When asked about Perez's future and if the team is heading towards a decision, Horner said, "Everything in life is subjective, and I think you've got to look at the facts. We're working hard with Checo. He had a chassis change in Brazil. I thought he drove a good sprint race, but Sunday wasn't his day." Carlos Sainz was also briefly connected with the position, but Horner said that the Williams-bound driver wouldn't form part of our plans for the next season. Perez started the season strong, but his last podium finish was in China over 7 months ago. His recent bad performances have helped to Red Bull's drop in the Constructors' Championship, with the Milton Keynes-based team now in 3rd position. However, Horner stated that Red Bull has not given up hope of regaining the team's title. F1, as we know, is a results-based business, he told journalists. Sergio is very aware of that. He's not happy with how the season has gone for him, as you would expect. He's big enough and old enough and wise enough to recognize that. But our focus is very much still on the Constructors' Championship as well. We need Sergio to be up there scoring in these last 3 races if we want to have any chance of challenging either Ferrari or McLaren. Horner is right, the teams have all figured out how to create a fast car. And to win the Constructors, you need 2 drivers performing at a high level. So, Horner is looking for a new talent, and all of the sudden Colapinto has emerged as the top contender for Red Bull's 2nd seat. However, Karun Chandhok, a former Formula 1 driver, has warned Franco Colapinto that joining Red Bull may destroy him. The Williams driver has emerged as a surprise candidate to succeed Sergio Perez, who is under increasing pressure due to his consistently dismal performance. According to the rumours, Red Bull would have to pay Williams $20 million to recruit their academy driver, who has wowed the Formula 1 paddock. His speed is undeniable, thus Chandhok believes it would be more logical for Red Bull to recruit the Argentine driver for its junior squad. "He's clearly very quick, clearly very talented," Chandhok said. "I think we'll all admit, including Williams, that it's been a bit of a surprise, because his junior Formula record didn't suggest he's going to be as good as he has been, and maybe he is well suited to an F1 car, or the style of driving, but I think it'd be a mistake to put him in a Red Bull. I think it's too early. I think if they were talking about putting him in an RB, I think that'll be a good, sensible choice, and a career progression for him. If they put him in a Red Bull alongside Max, it could destroy him. I think it'd be too soon. What do you think? Could Colapinto surprise us all and perform at Red Bull? Or would Tsunoda or Lawson be a better choice? That's if it even comes that far, as Perez does still have a contract. As on Monday morning, Marko reported that the 34-year-old driver will remain in the seat next season. Perez is rumoured to have landed a new, hefty sponsorship agreement. The new sponsor's identity is not disclosed, but the firm is reputed to generate a lot of money. Perez has partnerships with Claro, Telcel, and Infinitum, all of which are backed by billionaire and businessman Carlos Slim and Interprotección. They are claimed to already pay Perez's entire salary and transfer around $30 million to Red Bull each year. Those who consider him written off will have to wait a little longer, as he has a contract through 2025. Unless something changes at the last minute, which is not impossible at Red Bull, it looks like he is going to honour that contract, it concluded. So, will Red Bull make changes? Will they really want to pay for their second driver? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.